Hello, I am Veronica Smith, and I am the author of Schizo here on Wattpad. I just wanted to make a video to say thank you. First and foremost, thank you for reading. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for the votes, the shares. Thank you for sharing those who inboxed me personal stories and things like that nature. Thank you. Um, and I just wanted to talk about a little bit about Schizo using this lovely computer. Um, what I hope to accomplish when I started it. Um, I really wanted to open a dialogue about mental illness and about all the things that it I can say this word right, encompasses from your mental health to your physical health, your spiritual health, and your emotional health. All those things go along with you. And believe it or not, those things are affected by each other. Because if you're not feeling well, you probably don't look well. If you don't look well, you probably, you're giving off what you feel like on the inside. It's hard to cover up sometimes, and we know that. Those of us who've gone through this, it's hard to cover up. It's hard to wear that smile day in and day out when you don't feel like wearing a smile at all. Um, so I wanted to talk about those things, and I wanted to connect with people who have gone through those things, people like me who have gone through the schizophrenia and bipolar and borderline personality disorder and anxiety and depression and PTSD and all so forth and so on, all the long list of mental illnesses that are out there. And I wanted to talk about those things in a public forum to reach as many people as I could because I felt like I could help. I feel like I could help. Um, I also wanted to try to start a sense of community where people could come and talk about amongst each other if possible. And I know that we really didn't get a chance to do that, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. And because I'm taking steps to do things outside of Wattpad, outside of my writing to do that, I hope to be able to continue that elsewhere. Um, and I also wanted to share my life experience with you guys about how mental illnesses has affected me as a person. Um, some of that as a woman, some of that as a black female, some of that as just a human being. Um, it really, we're all humans first. We'll say that we're all humans first, and we're all people. And when things like this, mental illness does not see color, race, gender, does not see all those things. It happens. And, we have to deal with it. We really do. We really have to deal with it. It's one of those things that can destroy us. And so that's why I really wanted to draw attention to it because I felt when I was writing and I was going to my support groups and I was going to my therapy and I was going to my doctors and I was like, there's got to be other people like me. There's got to be people out there like me who want to talk about this stuff and not just sit in these rooms day in and day out and listen to a person just blah, 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 blah. There got to be people out there who want to share their experiences with others. And so I found it on Wattpad, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever that people just flock to it. And if I don't have the billions of reads that others have, but I have a few hundred, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something, and I really wanted to accomplish something. I wanted to know that people were reading, people were getting it, and people were feeling it. And you guys have been because you've been letting me know, and I thank you. Um, I want to talk about Wattpad Swan Song. This is not the last post for Schizo. This is just something I wanted to do leading up to that point. Um, I really think that I have done a lot with Schizo. I think that I've come a long way. I think that many of you have come a long way since you began the journey of reading what I've been going through. You probably noticed some changes in yourself, and that is awesome. And complete that, continue that. Please continue that, whether I'm writing or not. Please continue that. Um, I wanted to reach out to those of you who are going through these things and um, further continue to reach out beyond this thing here, beyond the walls of Wattpad. I wanted to, and I still want to, and I will go out into my community and find people like me who want to do something about what they're going through, who want to raise an awareness, who want to ease the suffering of others, and who also want to shed light on a dark situation. Um, I have, I think I've said a lot. I've delved into my past. I've talked about the things that I've done. I've let you guys know in some way, shape, or form how unhealthy my life was before I got help. And um, I want to go beyond that. You know, this was like Schizo was like a trip down memory lane, if you will. And all the places that I've been up to now and where I want to go later, which is, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Um, but it's been a journey. I've had many friends come out of this. I've had, I've strengthened some relationships, and I've even let some go because they just weren't where they needed to be, and they weren't healthy, and they were hurtful, and I had to let some people go, and that's what happens, in life. This is about your well-being, things that your quality of life that will help your quality of life, as you go. And hanging on to things that hurt. No, 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 no. You don't want that. So I made some decisions, and I trudged forward with those decisions, and I feel better for them. I feel as though um, I've lost a good 50 to 100 pounds of, self doubt and grief and guilt for dealing with some people. When I let them go, I felt so much lighter. And I think that some of you probably will see the same thing coming coming up in your lives. Maybe it may not be so easy. For me, it wasn't easy either. There were family members and there were close friends, people I thought were close friends, and then there were acquaintances that I really wanted to get to know, but I just couldn't hold on to them. So it's a hard journey. Um, but believe it or not, your path is laid out before you. Um, the one thing I believe and I hold to is that God oversees it all. You know, it's fresh to us and it's new to us because we can't see, we don't have the foreknowledge. We don't see everything, the big picture as God sees it. And but to think in that manner, to know that this is part of the larger picture, this is part of the bigger picture, that this is leading to something greater than I, is amazing. It's an eye opening experience, and it's one that's life changing. I place my faith in God. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do. Um, I live by His teaching, and it has helped me get through the toughest and the worst things of my life. And I'm telling you, there were some tough and some bad, some worse things. I've outlined some of those things in the writing, but I'm telling you personally, I would not be here. There's no way I should be here. I would not be here if it weren't for God. You know, right hand on the Bible. It's around here. It's next to my bed. The right hand on my Bible. Um, Truly, I would not be here if it were not for Him. Um, so with that being said, I want to move on, and I want to talk about what's coming because we've talked about so much of the past and we've talked about so much of what happened, how I got through it and up to this point that we have not talked about what's ahead, what's in the pathway down, what's down the pathway, what's that light that we weren't able to see or some of us still don't see because we we're so deep in our depression, we're so deep in our anxiety, and we don't feel that we don't see the ladder, we don't see the light, we don't you know hear the voices calling to us to help. Um, but they're there. Those things are there and they are waiting. And so I want to go forward and I want to talk about the healing process because there is a healing process. There is healing. There is better. And we're going to talk about that with the next nonfiction project that I'm going to do. Um, it will take some time. It will be very interesting because I'm thinking I want to do something like this where I deliver a message to you through video and will add some writing to it as well, but mostly video. And I can do it on Wattpad where it will be an intimate setting, not so much like YouTube where it's humongous and intimidating, but Wattpad is so it's like me and you, we're talking, just us. And we're discussing the things that we want to see, the things that we want to do, the things that we want to feel, those things we want to feel, those things we want to bring about out of ourselves and out of others. And I want to continue to nurture you guys that are going through these things. I want to continue to build you up and I want to continue to see you grow as you've seen me grow. And so those are the things that I want to do. And I will continue writing. I promise I will continue writing. But right now I'm on borrowed time. I'm using someone else's computer to even do this because mine is dead. And I am in the process of getting another one, but I have to save the cashola to get to the new computer. Okay, so um, it's gonna take a minute at least in order for me to get back to where I was. But I will be there and I will be writing again. And I will be trying to revamp some stories that I have there because they have stopped. They have come to a complete halt. And I want to get back into that. And this video is going like, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes before I'm done. And I don't want to hold you any longer. So, without further ado, thank you again for reading. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your votes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for sharing your lives with me. Thank you for, your criticisms as well. Those of you who found things that, didn't add up, you didn't think that they added up, or, in your mind, you're like, no, that's not right, for letting me know. I'm just reporting from my own experiences. I can't speak for the whole of the world, for each individual, but I'm just speaking from my own experiences. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. If call the bull crap if you see it. We can discuss like we did, and hopefully we'll come to level ground on those things, on those issues. But as the clock is ticking, and I want to get, I want to stop before it hits 20 minutes. Um, Thank you again. The Alvarez Chronicles. I thank you so much for everything that you have done. Everything. Elise Anton, I thank you for um, reading. I'm going to shout out names. Annie Mena, I thank you for reading. Eleanor Lynn, I thank you for reading. MSH Shawoon, I thank you for reading. And tons others of you, and my daughter, thank you for reading my stuff and liking it. um, and you guys have a good evening. Bye bye.